World Cup 2011 was already 2 days old when Wellington and Wales entered the competition. The laid-back capital city of New Zealand slowly awoke to the much-awaited encounter between the Springboks and the Red Dragons.
Confident, confident!
A quiet but confident Welsh camp had prepared well over the summer, and in their hotel team room had managed to keep the tournament hype at a distance. The analysis work, the moments of relaxation, and the ongoing manipulation of muscles and limbs, all happening within a calm and controlled environment. A far cry from the intensity of a match that would probably decide the eventual group winner, heading towards the knockout stages. A powerful start from the reigning world champions, and Wales were on the back foot from early on. A controversial call and a disallowed kick at goal, but all to play for going into the second half. The young Welsh back row were proving more than a match for their illustrious opponents, and they deservedly went ahead. But the Boks are not the trophy holders for nothing. There were opportunities to win it back, but it wasn't to be.
We geared ourselves up, to start on a positive note and to gain a victory and keep the momentum going, really. Having said that, there's a little bit of mixed emotions because I feel the momentum is still with us, even though we didn't get the result. I think we did everything bar win the game on the scoreboard. I think all the statistics are in our favour, etc. Just down to one or two instances where perhaps we could have had a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more composure. So the initial feeling is one of disappointment, without doubt. But I think if we reflect on it and overnight and wake up tomorrow morning, I think there'll be enough positives, I think, to keep us going and hopefully keep the momentum going for the remainder of the tournament.
It would now be the more difficult route to qualify, but that road would take them to Lake Taupo, a resort with all the amenities to recharge the batteries and get the campaign back on track. Another town and another impressive Maori welcome. Over 1,000 local residents proud to welcome Warren Gatland's gang into their midst, and even prouder to share their cultural heritage with their Celtic visitors. Great hospitality, but at the back of everyone's minds, that narrow defeat in Wellington.
We've come away there thinking we're not too far away, with probably having gained a huge amount of respect from the other teams in the World Cup, from the New Zealand public in terms of the performance. A lot of people thinking that kick went over, so we looked at the negatives, looked at the opportunities, and then started to focus on the positives of that performance.
Taupo itself was again proving to be a haven away from the hurly-burly of the World Cup, although the support and enthusiasm for the tournament and its guests to be found everywhere. The obvious banners and the less obvious product manufacturers, jumping on the bandwagon of New Zealand's biggest sporting festival. Spa treatments the world over have wonderful properties to aid ailments. The Maori people's physique, a testament to the toning qualities here. The power of water lubricating and teasing the bodies back into shape, and the waters of the mighty Waikato River, not only providing power for the nation, but also a great attraction for tourists. The jet boats that skim the surface at speeds over 50 miles an hour offer an exhilarating experience. Getting away from the pressures of a tournament, a vital part of World Cup preparation. Golf is always a popular pastime on tour, and some of the squad are more than capable of a rhythmic swing or two. Others need a bit more practice. Ryan Jones has obviously been practicing at one stage or another, a hole-in-one, and his prize, a free trip on the jet boat. Back on the training field, another crowd of well-wishers and supporters, indignant that Wales had been robbed of victory, but more than happy that this was a team that could make an impression in 2011. Physically, they'd come through the first match relatively unscathed, and of the calf injury club, both Gethin Jenkins and Stephen Jones making progress. The Blues prop chomping at the bit to get back into action. Hamilton, the capital of the Waikato region, home of Warren Gatland, would be their next port of call. Their base for the next fortnight, the same hotel as the All Blacks, who just demolished Japan. There was almost a handing over of room keys in reception, and perhaps a whispered message of, "See you in the final." The Samoans had historically upset Wales in the past, and this match had all the signs of another brutal encounter in the offing. The South Sea Islanders wouldn't be short of support. The expected physical battle lived up to its billing, with the likes of Jamie Roberts and George North giving as good as they got. But opportunities weren't taken. At half-time, the tenacity of the Samoans had them in front. For once, the luck of the bounce and a pliable bar went the way of Rhys Priestland. And the inject of pace and awareness from Lee Halfpenny created the match-winning score. A predatory instinct and a vital victory. The victory, though, came at a price. In addition to an above-average number of bumps, bruises, sprains and strains, James Hook's shoulder was a cause for concern. And an injury to Dan Lydiat meant that the influential blindside would be sidelined for at least the remainder of the group stages.
Again, we created a couple of chances. You know, Luke Charters given a forward pass, and I thought in the first 30 minutes we were pretty good, with a couple of shots at goal, and I was really pleased with that first 30 minutes. I felt that Samoa had got away with a bit at the breakdown. It made it difficult for us to play in that 30 minutes, and going and behind, having defended well, and Samoa scoring right on half time, and saying to the players, we've got to dig deep here, and the players knew how hard they'd worked in the off season, and for me it wasn't about the performance, it was about the result and getting out of a bit of a pickle and showing some courage and digging deep, and I thought we did that incredibly well and hung on, and it was perhaps an ugly win, but it was a win out of character, and sometimes those are more important than having a really good performance. I mean, you show some guts and show some character, and I thought we did that.
Injuries are inevitable during a competition of this intensity. Managing those injuries and maintaining a well-oiled machine is a vital element of a successful campaign.
Every day there's a clinic that we run, and every day the players will get treatment, 2, sometimes three times. At the minute we've got a couple of long-term injuries who actually are probably getting treatment 5 times a day. So all of those are done just to make sure that we can put out the best team possible for the coaches. After every game and preparing people, recovering people actually from the rigours of the game before, and getting people prepared for the next game is essential really, and it's quite full on really during that period of time to get people ready, and I think it's an essential part of the machine as you call it really.
It's not only the players though that get the benefits of physiotherapy and intense massage to assist recovery. Kneading and manipulating the Welsh hunks means that Angela Rickard is deemed a lucky girl by many onlookers, and a glossy magazine profile for those envious of her talents was always on the cards.
You've done this before.
In the hunk stakes, a Welshman leading the world. Not that Mike Phillips believes in that sort of thing, of course. And what do the other cool squad members get up to as they try to recover from a Samoan battering? Surfing isn't a bad way to tone up the body, but of course you've got to learn how to do it. Raglan is a world-renowned beach. It apparently has one of the best left-hand wave breaks on the planet. Not that the Welsh boys were exposed to the monster surf. The constant rollers around the corner were enough of a challenge. Captain Warburton, for once, not the best of the bunch. But budding scrum half Lloyd Williams, benefiting from his early years on Tresaith Beach back home.
Oh, it was superb. The views coming down in the minibus were fantastic, and then to get onto the beach and get out in the water was amazing. Bashed about a bit by the waves, they were pretty big. But yeah, it certainly lived up to what it's known for, because it was absolutely awesome surf there.
The planning that a tournament of this magnitude requires has to be spot on. Not only what happens from one day to another, but from 1 hour to the next. Who's involved, where and when. Squad manager Alan Phillips and New Zealand liaison officer Tony Bedford have taken care of logistics. Nothing is left to chance.
Well, looking at this, boys, obviously it's early start on Monday morning. We're talking about picking up at 9 in the morning. So Sunday night, obviously you picked up on this at 8:30 Sunday night, where we're going to go back on the ground with that.
Wales have also played a prominent part in taking the competition out of the main centres and towns into the more rural regions of New Zealand. Grassroots villages such as Waitomo turned up en masse to get a personal glimpse of their international visitors.
Oh, yeah!
It was then the turn of the local community to host the squad at their famous attraction, the Waitomo Caves.
Welcome here to Waitomo, everyone. It's our pleasure to have you here today.
And the unique glowworm inhabitants were treated to a bilingual serenade. The choir sounding better every time. Other squads have perhaps attracted unwanted headlines as they've toured the country, but the Welsh class of 2011 have certainly been popular visitors, and each region has reached out to show their appreciation. Knowing that their next opponents were Namibia, the weakest team in the group, the usual tension around the camp was not so obvious. Not that they were taking their opponents lightly. Training was relentless. And for Ryan Jones, this would be his first World Cup appearance ever. For Stephen Jones, his record-breaking 101st cap, and possibly for Ken Owens, his debut. Wales were expected to win. The pundits, the fans, and the tournament expected no less than a comprehensive Welsh victory, and those expectations were met. The first 20 minutes put the game beyond doubt. A quiet second 20 saw some Welsh mistakes, and Namibia holding their own. There was even a breakaway try for the African underdogs, but normal service was about to be resumed. A hat-trick for Scott Williams. A powerful brace for George North. And a first cap for Ken. "12 tries, over 80 points, and the Fijians next." Back at the hotel, a once-in-a-lifetime experience for a young Carmarthenshire man. And proud parents there to witness the moment.
It's a pleasant duty to present the first cap to someone who really deserves it. It's my great pleasure and honour to present the first, and I know it won't be the last, cap to Ken Owens.
One more group match remaining, and a win against Fiji would guarantee Wales a quarter-final place. But the New Zealanders already consider our national coach to be a huge success. Warren Gatland being inducted into the Hamilton Boys High School Hall of Fame.
We are proud to honour Warren talent and our Hall of Fame for his extensive service to sport and rugby in New Zealand and overseas.
I haven't really prepared anything, but Tom's the first thing that I need to note is that there isn't much mention of my academic achievements at Hamilton Boys High School.
The school here is one of the top state schools in the country, not just sport. I mean, they do achieve very well at sport, but academically as well, and there's a great feeling around the place, real discipline. So to be recognised by sort of the where you come from, it is a huge honour. I think for my son as well, for Bryn being there, and so just it probably puts a bit more pressure on him actually having to do well at school. But he's done really well here, and but it's great just having family and some friends here today was pretty special.
It's great to be back here, and makes me very, very proud to accept this. Thank you.
But what price? An appearance in the semis, or even the final?
We feel quite comfortable where we're at the moment. Not too many people talking about us. Like I just said, slowly slipping under the radar. Trying desperately to get out of this group in terms of making the quarterfinals. And if we do that, we think we'll be in really good shape, having played in what's an incredibly tough group. And if we get to the quarterfinals, without picking up too many injuries, we think we have a good account of ourselves.